Hello everyone, and welcome to my Skewb tutorial on Sarah's intermediate method. According to a page on sarahcubing.net, there are 3 steps to this method. The first is to solve a side, and the second is to solve the side that's opposite of that, and the last step is to solve all of the centers that are unsolved. Now in this video I'm going to assume that you know how to solve a side already, and so I'm going to be focusing on the second and third steps. Also, I'm going to assume that you know how to do a sledgehammer and a hedge slammer. So, with that said, let's get into the rest of the video. Now in this video, I'm going to use white as the first side, and I'm going to use yellow as the opposite side. So in the second step, we'll be solving the yellow side. So you've solved your first layer, and that means that you have to solve the layer opposite that. Well, in Sarah's intermediate method, you solve the top layer, or the opposite layer, with one algorithm. There are 11 different opposite layer cases, and I'm going to show you all the algorithms that I use for those. So I'm going to divide the algorithms up into 3 different groups. The first one is going to be where the corners are oriented like this. So we have 2 yellow headlights, or we have a pair of headlights here, and we have these 2 yellows facing out. The first case in this group, it looks like this, and this is, to solve this case, you simply do a sledgehammer. You're going to want to hold it like this, so that these yellow headlights are facing to the right, and the center is going to be in front, like this, and then you're simply going to do a sledgehammer, and it solves the top layer. Here's the second case, and in this case, if you hold the corners the same way as we did last time, the center will be on the back, and so you're going to turn it so that center is in front and these headlights will be on the left. And to solve this case, you simply do a hedge slammer, and the top layer is solved. In this case, we have these headlights here, and we have the yellow corners, these 2 facing out, and we have the center on top. So what we do in this case is we hold these headlights to the left, and we do 2 sledgehammers. So, sledgehammer, and sledgehammer. And the top layer is solved. The next case in this group looks like this. So we have the yellow center on the same side as the yellow headlights on the corners, and we're going to hold it so that this yellow center is in the back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a sledgehammer, then do a Y rotation, and then do a sledgehammer, and do a Y prime rotation, and then do a hedge slammer. And that solves the top layer. And this is the last case in this group. The center is on the opposite side of where the headlights are facing. So if we have the headlights facing to the left here, the center will be on the right side. Now, just like last time, we're going to hold that center in the back, and then we're going to do a sledgehammer, and then do a Y rotation, or sorry, Y prime rotation, and do another sledgehammer, and then do a Y rotation, and then hedge slammer. Now the second group of cases for solving the top layer that I'm going to show you are where the corners look like this. So we have 2 corners that are facing the correct way, and the other 2 corners are facing like this, kind of pointing towards one edge. So the first case looks like this, when we have these corners like this, and these 2 corners facing like this. The center is here. And we're going to take that center and hold it on the left side, and we're going to do a sledgehammer, and then do a Y rotation, and then do another sledgehammer. And that solves the top layer. The next case looks like this. So if you hold the corners the same way as we did last time, then you'll see that the center, instead of being on the left, is now on the right. So we're going to hold that yellow center to the left just like last time, and to solve this case, we're going to do a sledgehammer, and then do a Y rotation, and then do a hedge slammer. So this is the next case. If you hold the corners the same way as we did last time, then the center will be back here. So we're going to hold this yellow center to the right, and to solve this, we're going to do a sledgehammer, and then do a Y prime rotation, and then do a hedge slammer. And that solves the top. And here's the next case. Again, if you hold the corners the same way, then this time the center, the yellow center, will be back here. So we're going to hold that yellow center to the right, just like we did last time. And to solve this case, the algorithm I use is a sledgehammer, and then a Y prime rotation, and then another sledgehammer. And here we have the last case in this group, and it looks like this. So we have this yellow center on top this time, and we're going to hold it like this. And the algorithm that I use to solve this is sledgehammer, Y rotation, sledgehammer, another Y rotation, and then hedge slammer. And this is the third group of cases, and also the last group. And in this group there's only one case. So in this group the corners are all oriented correctly, and the center is what is unsolved. So here we have the center, and what we're going to do is we're going to hold this in the back. We're going to hold the center in the back, and then we're going to do a sledgehammer, and then a Y2 rotation, and then another sledgehammer. And that solves the top layer. Some of you may have caught that that algorithm is just a U-Perm. So that's basically what you do in this case, is it's a U-Perm that brings this center up to here. So you've solved the first side, and then you've solved the opposite side, and the third step is to solve all of the centers that are unsolved. So there are basically three cases for this step. The first is the U-Perm. So how you recognize a U-Perm is on this middle kind of layer of all these four centers, one will be solved and the other three will be unsolved. So what you want to do is you want to take the center that is in the middle of these unsolved centers. So if you hold them all like this, the center that's in the middle, and you're going to want to find the side where that goes. So it's red, so it goes in the red side, and we can tell this is the red side because all these corners are solved. And so you're going to want to hold it so that that red center is on top and the red side is in front. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do a U-Perm basically. So the U-Perm is sledgehammer, Y2 rotation, and then another sledgehammer. And that solves it. So here's another U-Perm case. Some people might split this up and say this is a different case, but you can still use the exact same algorithm to solve it. So in this case, we have this U-Perm, and we have these three centers that are unsolved. So we're going to hold two unsolved centers on the side here, and then the last unsolved one in the middle. And so we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. We're going to hold this in the middle center on the top, and then we're going to hold it so that the green side, and we know this is green because these corners are green, and we're going to hold that side in front. And we're going to do a U-Perm. And the algorithm for that, just as last time, is sledgehammer, Y2 rotation, and another sledgehammer. And that solves that case. And here is the next case in this third step, and it is a Z-Perm. In the Z-Perm we have two centers here that are swapped, and two centers here that are swapped. So we're going to hold these kind of pairs of centers, one to the right and one to the left, and we're going to do this algorithm to solve it. R, L prime, U prime, L, U, L, R, L prime, R. And here we have the next case, and this is an H-Perm. And with an H-Perm, all these centers in this kind of middle layer are all on opposite sides of where they're supposed to be. So orange is on red, which is the opposite of orange, and green is on blue, which is the opposite of green, and so on. So the position you're going to want to hold this cube to do the algorithm so that it'll solve the cube. It doesn't really matter how you hold it as long as the solved sides are on the top and bottom. And to solve this case, the moves I do are like this. So, hopefully this video helped you. If it did, then make sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to Cubing Outlet. Thanks for watching.